Welcome to the Comedy Cellar Nightly Show. My name is Dave Juskow. So nice to see everybody on a beautiful, actually for real, Tuesday morning. I love that's my line when I use the radio voice. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning, and yes, it's a beautiful Tuesday evening in New York City. It's like 60 degrees. When I left this morning, I was wearing my winter jacket, and I just walked out without one now. Unbelievable. The sun is still shining at 6 o'clock. It is kind of beautiful. It's a beautiful time of the year. It's spring, everybody, like it actually is, kind of. So I guess we'll see. Let's, before we say hello to everybody in the chat room, and it's so nice to see everybody again, I will just tell you this is the Comedy Cellar Show. It is the greatest club in the country, the Comedy Cellar. It's open every single day of the year, and you can see every single show you want. You know who we got there today? Zarna Garg. Mike, I don't know if you know her. I mean, it's so weird. The first time I met this girl, she's an Indian comic.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't understand a word you're saying. So the odds of you making it in show business are very slim. And proven wrong again by she's everywhere now. She's a huge to do at the Comedy Cellar. It's quite fascinating. And she's fortunately she doesn't remember that, and we're good. So I remember once as she was getting bigger, I'm like, I'm going to get her an Uber because hopefully she'll remember this years from now. So anyway, we'll see. But anyway, she is performing tonight at the Comedy Cellar. And that's right, Marcy, just like the Blue Man Group, this is what I do. I told the Blue Man Group, they're never going to make it. That's the stupidest idea I've ever heard. Oh, man, listen to the podcast. That is a true story. That is a damn true story. Hey, listen, I dare anybody to have she is funny, to have the insight when the Blue Man Group is sitting there telling you, here's our plan, and you being like, oh my God, that's brilliant. No, nobody. Come on. Also in the Las Vegas Comedy Cellar with, of course, our friend Mark Coco Cohen, Marsha Warfield will be there all week long. You remember Marsha Warfield from Night Court? I don't think she's in the reboot.
Nope.
Which I tried to watch the other day.
For
no reason. What did you say, Mike?
I tried to watch the first episode.
Yeah, me too. And I was out right after that. It was god awful, right?
It's just not written very well.
Yep, it's not written very well, and it sucks. It's just yeah, you're right. It's not written. Besides John Larroquette, everybody, that girl, whatever her name is, I do like her on The Big Bang Theory, but she's not the one for this show.
They're not giving her anything to work with, that's for sure.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I mean, the concept of the show is kind of brilliant and can go so many places, and she's just not the right person. And it's funny because I probably would have said that about Harry Anderson when he first started, even though I loved him on Cheers.
It's like it's being written by an AI that was told write an episode of Night Court.
Oh my God, that is the perfect example. You are absolutely right, Mike. That's now that I've seen that first episode, I think, oh my God, you're absolutely right. Good. It sucks. It's bad. And I don't know if it's filmed in front of a live audience, but it certainly seemed like cam laughter to me. So Anonymous went to the Beacon and saw Marina and Sarah. Obviously, I couldn't go because I had class. They wanted me to go. They were upset that I couldn't go. And I think they had a good time. But what could I do? It was my final class. And I will tell you, folks, that the final class was awesome. You probably, if you've listened to the podcast already this week with my sister and Dory. Are you kidding, Marcy? AI, he means artificial intelligence. They have these new things where you can actually tell an AI to write a script or tell a joke, and it's not bad, but it's just the way he's saying. It's a little stiff. Hello, this is Night Court. I like Night Court. Where is Judge Stone? I mean, it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, class was amazing. Nobody wanted to leave, which I can't tell you how happy that makes me. On the final day, I said, well, I guess that's it. And then they all stayed till about 7:45. And it was really nice. And that is the end of my Clueless class. And I wait until the fall to continue. Jenny, I think everybody uses AI in comedy at this point, except for me and Mike, of course.
I am an IA.
Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate that. Was the school? Oh, hi, Aunt Judy. How's Uncle Bob doing? I saw your last email. Well, I saw but I didn't see today's. I guess and Uncle Bob is in the hospital or something. You're doing all right. You're having a bad time over there. I got to come by. I'm sorry. I haven't been by in a while because of class. I'll come by and I'll see you. Anonymous, I know a lot of people want to take it. I got to figure out how to do an online course because I think that it could be a week late. That's right. Burn other comedians. Anyway, so today is a National Countdown Day. I don't know if you know about that. You know, there's a national day every week. Today's National Countdown Today. So what I thought I would do, for really no particular reason, off the top of my head, the countdown of songs this day, this week. You know, all the new countdowns coming on Saturdays on March 21st or 28th, whatever Saturday is, 1983. So exactly 40 years ago, the top 10 songs in the nation at that time. Are you ready?
You ready?
Number 10, Come On Eileen by Dexy's Midnight Runners. Or as the first guy I met in comedy that year used to say, his gag was, I come on Eileen. He was a horrible comic. But he had the song, I come on Eileen. I come on her breasts. Her lipstick's a mess. Like, listen, I didn't write it. It was the first guy I met in comedy. And I don't know where that guy, I think he became a teacher, which is sad and funny now at this point. Anyway. Then, One-on-One, Hall & Oates, Journey, Separate Ways, Styx, Mr. Roboto. That's a classic. We've got tonight, what is that? Kenny Rogers and Sheena Easton.
Oh, wow.
Was a thing. Back on the Chain Gang, of course, the great Chrissy Hynde and the Pretenders. You Are, Lionel Richie. That's right. We're doing a David Letterman countdown. Hungry Like the Wolf, Duran Duran. Do You Really Want to Hurt Me, Culture Club, and the number one song 40 years ago. Oh, that's hard to say. On this date, Mike, any guesses?
For no, not right now. I'm trying to figure something out real quick. In the chat room, what do you think? Michael Jackson?
It is Michael Jackson. You are completely right. It is Billie Jean.
Oh, wow.
1983, probably even before the moonwalk. Or maybe it was right around this time. Right, Marcy? Right around this time, because the Happy Birthday song. Aunt Judy, how old are you? Seriously, just what are you talking? 1983. Happy Birthday. It's funny. She still got it. Yeah, I'm thinking that that's the exact same time around the moonwalk thing came. I think it was 83. I mean, God, it was just getting started for Michael Jackson, and now it's all over.
Yep,
so
gotta be starting something
up. What?
He's got to be starting something.
That's right. Well, it's so crazy. I mean, the guy had already been 20 years in the business, and then another 20 years he would already be kind of hated, and now he's just dead. It's really messed up. I think everyone else here is still alive. Yeah, everyone else is still alive except for the number one song, Michael Jackson. I mean, I don't know. All right, I'm not going to lie. Well, Kenny Rogers is dead. And I really don't know.
Right.
I don't know about Dexy's Midnight Runners. It was also his first. Whose first music video? Not Michael Jackson.
Got to be starting something with it, I think.
Oh, got to be starting something, right? Yeah, because not Thriller wasn't his first.
Oh, on MTV, he said. Billy.
Jean.
Yeah, that's what.
Is that true?
Said. I'll check. It sounds right.
He made music videos for the Off the Wall album, but you might be right. Remember, hey, listen, they didn't play black artists on MTV, and it's a fact. So He changed all that. It's pretty messed up when you think about it. Pretty messed up. In 1983, there was an abundance of black artists missing. So weird to think about now, especially in music. Like the one place where didn't seem to be a lot of prejudice. Like, it seemed like if you were good, if you were talented, if you were Sammy Davis Jr., you worked it out. But I probably don't know what I'm talking about as usual. The countdown to John Wick 4, 2 days, 5 hours, and 55 minutes. The countdown to Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, 100 days, 5 hours, and 55 minutes. Aaron H. says, you're right, was the first video by a black artist to be aired in heavy rotation on MTV. Yeah. How about that? That's some fucked up shit. Right? 1983? If you said 1963, I'd be like, well, yeah, that makes sense.
When did MTV start?
1981. So that is 2 full years without any, I guess he's saying heavy rotation. Maybe they had a couple. Man, that is a sad statement for everyone. Countdown to NFL kickoff, 169 days, 5 hours, and 55 minutes.
Yeah. Well, the first year of MTV was just Martha Quinn describing music to you.
Actually, I wrote a script for the beginning of MTV that I got commissioned to do by, the producer of the Letterman show years ago, Rob Morton. And Rob Morton is also, he was there when MTV was started. He hired Nina Blackwood and did a lot of he auditioned the VJs. So he's already, he's a factor of this, but it's great. I wrote this movie script that should still be going on the air because the creation of MTV is fantastic, and it's a really interesting story. And if I was Sarah Silverman, it'd already be on the air. You know what I'm saying? Countdown to Passover, 15 days. You're right, Anonymous. That's right. Yeah, I got to go home to Jersey on that day. God damn it, I forgot about that. Anywho, let's look at what we had coming up this week in the news. Mike, if you'll show picture number 1. I just took this right out of the Post on Monday. On Sunday, apparently they had a couple of drag queens read some children's stories at a library, and people were protesting. And it's so ridiculous. I got to tell you that I think that would have been the greatest thing that ever happened to me. I to have a drag queen read something animated, as a kid. I don't think you would even think twice. I don't know what people are protesting about. Who gives a shit, right? What are they?
I think every story would be better with a nice long girl.
Exactly. It's funny. I just think about like it would be interesting too. You'd be already shown like culture already because let's say the school I went to was all white kids, one black kid, Chauncey Clark, and we always remember, except for there's one girl who didn't remember Marina. And then you're like, wow, that's an interesting person because you're not prejudiced at that age, and what could be the harm? And so you're going to remember that for the rest of your life. Well, I want to be like her because she knew how to tell a story.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what that was all about. The next picture, Mike, just makes me so angry. And there's 2 stories on there. First of all, you have these idiots from Good Morning America running. I couldn't care less about them. There was another stupid half marathon this weekend, and it ruined my Sunday as usual. There was the St. Patrick's Day parade and the stupid marathon, and it took me 45 minutes to get to my parking garage. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. And when I see these celebrities running in it, they're just fueling the fire of these we need a half marathons. There was one black kid in my class too. Her mother was a hand model and was Claire Huxtable's hands on the cause. What? You're joking. Did Claire Huxtable have bad hands or she's just kidding? Hi, Catalina.
She's got a weird tattoo.
Who does?
I don't know. Claire Huxtable.
Oh, maybe she had one. You're saying, yeah,
Yeah, I was
yeah.
joking.
She's like the tattoo said, "I know Bill Cosby's up to something." Anyway, that other side was pissing me off because that Big Mac, is going up in price. And I tried to order from McDonald's last week. I tried to order from McDonald's, I think on either Saturday or Sunday night. I'm like, let me just order from McDonald's. And the price was $40. And I'm like, I'm not paying $40 for McDonald's for a Big Mac and some nuggets.
Yeah,
so it's silly. Insane. And as you see on the bottom there, and I wasn't even going to talk about it, the new Shazam movie, which was my favorite cartoon character or superhero, which they just ruined, made no money. DC sucks in every way. I don't know how you messed that up. That first one was a lot of fun. You messed it up because everyone's a superhero in that. I mean, I know that's the way the comic book was, but just
well, the original comic books, it's just a 3.
Right.
Mary
It's
Jr.
the original one was right. Captain Marvel Jr. and Mary Marvel.
Right. And then Captain
and
Marvel.
It was supposed to be funny, and I was good with that. But yeah, and then they started making that the grandfather, the uncle or something, and that was okay. I didn't really care. But I all I know is DC just can't get it right. They cannot get it right. It's so fucked up. Yeah. Right, Mike? I mean, it's
being all rebooted soon anyway, so
it's just weird. And I love Shazam, and
James Gunn's gonna redo everything?
I wanted to make that movie. I mean, that Shazam was my favorite comic book as a kid. I even have a figure of Captain Marvel up here, and of course, I'm mad that they can't call him Captain Marvel, which was the original name. I don't know how Marvel pulled that off too. It's really.
I think it's more DC's fault than Marvel's fault.
You're probably right,
because it was Fawcett who originally made the character, and then when they bought it, I think that's what ruined everything.
So you're saying DC's been fucked since the 60s or something? They have the worst business people there.
Yeah, well, I think Fawcett went out of business. That's when they bought.
What went out of business?
Fawcett, the original creator.
Oh, right. Wow, you're good. You remember all that. Yeah, Whiz Comics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that first one where they did the takeoff on the car. I mean, that was a great comic, Shazam, because it was stupid and funny, and they got it. I really liked those as a kid. Dr. Sylvania, I think, was the villain all the time.
Sylvania's a light bulb.
Oh, well, I didn't know how to pronounce it, but that's the way I pronounced it as a kid.
Yeah.
Every time they do a reboot of the comic, I buy it. I love it.
Oh, cool.
Anyway, if you go to the next one, this is so weird. This happened. This is the mayor of Newark, New Jersey, the guy in the middle. And they got taken in by this kind of cult that said they want to be a sister city called the United States of Kalasa, which is in Africa or something. It turns out there is no city called that, and they were scamming everybody, and Newark fell for it. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really messed up. And they fooled like the UN and stuff. No, it's a very small town. We went in, but it turns out it's like a big cult and stuff, and it's really messed up. And this next one, that's my girl Amanda Bynes, who I've always liked. She's a mess. I mean, a mess. She was caught running naked on the highway or something and flagged somebody down, which I wish would have been me because I've been waiting for that my whole life. But no, she said she needs help, and from the Nigerian prince, right? And that's usually you get that. That's what they're pulling. They're pulling that live, and go to the next one, Mike. I mean, I've liked her since she was a kid, but I mean, I got the wrong one. Go. What's the next one? It's my fault. I ordered it incorrectly. Yeah, that's what she looked like, all grown up. And I mean, she was beautiful. I've seen all her movies. Right? What was it? My favorite one, What a Girl Wants. Everybody loves that one with Colin Farrell. I get Colin Farrell and Firth mixed up. And now go to the next one, Mike. Now she unfortunately, I mean, that's just not good for anybody.
That's her?
I know she's got problems. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Her and her boyfriend or husband, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. You can go. We can go back to the pizza one. So that's the cover of the Post today. And what they're saying is that the dollar pizza called Two Bros just moved to $1.50. I've never liked that pizza. I'd prefer to pay $4 for pizza. Some people like it. I think it's disgusting. But now they're blaming it. This is the New York Post. They're blaming it on Biden. That pizza went up $1.50. I don't know about that, but yeah, Firth, Marcy, right, Mr. Darcy, that's right. God, that movie's so good. What a Girl Wants. I think I've seen it like 10 times. I'm so gay. Oh, I don't know what my problem is. But I always liked her, and then I used to watch that TV series she was in with Jenny Garth. I was a big fan. I'm really upset to see this happen to her, and it's too bad. Another child star in trouble. Anyway, yeah, go to number 5. Does anybody know what that is?
Yeah, it's sad.
That is the auction they're having for the guy Murdoch, who was just convicted of murdering his wife and kid. Those you can buy those. Those are turtle lamps.
Yeah, that's surprising. That's not surprising that he was going to kill his family if he owned those lamps.
Exactly. That somebody should have gone into the house, and just be like tortoise. Excuse me, about tortoise lamps.
Yeah,
but I mean, you could go into the house and be like, something's up with this guy. Why would he have these? Yeah, he's definitely a monster. You can go to the next one. So this was Chris Hemsworth, who's the manliest of all men, gotten a lot of flack because they shoved his kid into his birthday cake, and everybody's angry at it.
Well, the dog wants no part of it.
Yeah, exactly. See, the dog knew. Oh, I wouldn't post this, and you probably shouldn't post it. I'm sure the kid's fine, but they put it. But it looks like they're holding him down, so that's what's bad about it. And the thing is, I would hate that if that was if somebody did that to me. And I've hated it since the next picture, which is this movie.
Real quick, if you look at him, he doesn't really seem like he's like on board with it.
The kid?
No, Chris himself. He's like, yeah, okay.
Well, he posted it. I think he did, or maybe his wife did. I don't know.
Yeah. They're the ones smiling.
If you go to the next one, that's a scene from Author, which is only a movie that I know. And every year they'd throw a cake in Al Pacino's face on his birthday. And I was like, this is a stupid movie and a stupid tradition, even though I've seen it 30 times. And if you look at the next one, you can see he's full of cake. And that pissed me off even in that movie. So don't ever do that to me. I'm not going to find it amusing. I would have cake all over my clothes. And so, Marcy, you've seen Author. Are you and me the only ones? I mean, it's I don't know why I love that movie. We called the kid on the right the Judd Hirsch kid. I looked him up today. His name's Eric Gurney or something. He was in this movie and Bad Boys. And then I think he got out, and now he runs like, he's an entrepreneur. He went to law school. He did all right for himself. But it's pretty cool. He got to act with Al Pacino. So, Jenny, wait, are you saying same that are you talking about the cake, or did you see Author? No, there's no way you could have seen Author. That's just me and Marcy. You have to be of a certain age. Oh my God. Well, that's enough of that, Mike. Well, we should probably get to the slides already because we're a half hour in, and I got a lot of slides today. I got a lot of problems with you people, and I'm going to tell you about them on Festivus. Wait, I don't. Nobody's talking about Author. That's funny, right? Okay, no, I'm getting confused. No, nobody has seen Author except me and Marcy. It's such a bad film, and yet I can't stop watching it every time it's on. It's and I do lines from it all the time because it was one of those movies that was on when we first got cable. So yeah, no, right, Jenny? I don't understand that kind of stuff. I don't want to get shut up and honest. I don't want to get well. It's true though. I don't want to get wet. I don't want to get anything on me once I'm all showered and clean. I don't want any of that stuff. It would really drive me crazy. I am surprised non-Latins do the cake face push. Wait, that's a thing?
Yeah, that's what Colin was saying.
The cake face push is a thing?
Yeah, and it's annoying.
Wait, for real?
Yeah, apparently it's
You know about it?
Well, my family never did it, but I would
It's a
see other
Latino
families do it.
thing?
I guess so. I didn't grow up with it, but I would see other people do it, and I
The
guess it's a
fuck is the
something.
matter with people?
I don't know.
Yeah, don't waste cake. Exactly, Mike. Example A, anonymous. Yeah, that's right. My niece Liza's banned from the podcast. That's right. Okay, Catalina, that sounds good. Yeah, my niece is I don't know, Mike. My niece is a lifetime ban from my podcast because she always falls asleep on it, and she goes, "I'm leaving," and I go, "I don't care. You can ban me for life. I don't care." So it doesn't even work because she doesn't even care. That's the worst part. All right, I'm gonna go to share my screen.
All right.
And today I am sharing. We are going to start with Brian May getting knighted. I don't know whether this is the first person King Charles knighted. It certainly doesn't look as festive as when the Queen did it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Catalina, you think my sister has a calming voice? Yeah, maybe she does. I don't know. But the reason why I showed this picture, and I don't know, I'm sure Brian May's great, but I was like looking up their discography, and he didn't really write any of the classics. So I don't know. I mean, Freddie Mercury was alive, he'd be getting knighted, you know. But there's a guy in the back over here. Can you see this guy sitting in the chair? That guy, I think
Wasn't
it's this
he
guy.
Eldon on Eldon on Murphy Brown?
Oh, he does look like that, but he's dead, so it can't be him. Oops. Anyway, this is who he looks like, which is Robbie Coltrane in some of the James Bond, the Pierce Brosnan movies. Yeah. And ironically, he does carry a cane. So I actually did think it was this guy because he's holding a cane. I mean, I don't know.
But he's also dead.
Yes, he's also dead. That's right.
It's his ghost.
This is in France. They have a protest against pension reforms. That's right, Marcy. It's Hagrid. And they're using an umbrella to protect themselves against tear gas. I don't think that's a thing. I think tear gas is going to not penetrate the umbrella, but it's not going to work. It's.
I think he means not get beamed by it. I guess he would kind of push the gas forward.
Look, it's still going to permeate all around, you know, and then this, you know,
you're saying the canisters, just for the canisters themselves.
Yeah, I know, but this and the umbrellas aren't any good here either. I don't know. I mean, if it's already raining, what do you need umbrellas for at this point? You know, you're clearly already doomed. I don't know. These are my my collage of umbrella situations. Now, what we were talking about here, they're protesting against pension reforms. I think about this guy, and I think there's only one other person, maybe Anonymous would know, but in the Little Rascals, there was a guy who always used to say he worked at a foster home, and his wife was really mean to the kids, and he's like, "You'll see when I get my back pension, everything's going to change. I'm going to take care of these kids." He always talked about his back pension. His back pension. That's all he would ever talk about. I don't know what a back pension is. And then here's him teaching the kids later with Spanky on his side. What do you think, Spanky? In fact, this is a classic. And he goes, use isthmus in a sentence. And the guy goes, and the kid's name is So he goes, use isthmus in a sentence. It must be my lucky day. So there's a lot of classics in this one. Anyway, I found out in rewatching that when he gets his back pension, whatever that is, it's $4,000, which doesn't seem like that much, but he takes the kids to a really expensive dinner where it turns out they end up serving them mush, which, is what they were eating all day anyway. And he gets really pissed and the waiter gets mush, but apparently it's supposed to be porridge, but all the children eat mush. I mean, in 1920s or 30, I guess $4,000 would be like $20,000. I don't know. Well, and he smashed a cake. Actually, this guy threw porridge in this guy's face, so it's very much like our what we're talking, our theme today.
It'd be like $72,000.
You think so?
That's what the inflation calculator says.
Oh, well, that's pretty good then. $4,000 would be $72,000. Wow, that's because when he gets off the phone, it's $4,000. I'm like, what are you gonna do with that? And so he was complaining about this back print. That ain't that great, but 72,000. If you don't have much, I guess that's quite a bit. Mm-hmm. This is in California. It's but I like it because the guy's trying to shovel. I don't know what his end plan is. See, that's one of those things. I'm like, I'll wait till summer because I don't know how you're going to shovel out of that. That seems like a shoveling nightmare. And then, of course, this again in California. They're having so much problems out there. This is at a restaurant. It's a propane heater leak and a small fire, and I say let the place blow up, and that'll clear out the snow. Thank you. I have solutions to everything. And this is a snow over a Carl's Jr., which I just think is funny because whenever I think there's no Carl's Jr.'s on the East Coast, so I always think of that they're only in warm places. And anyway, it looks beautiful, doesn't it? And I'd like to live in this house right here so I could always look at late night Carl's Jr. It just looks so pleasant. Yeah, Liz, isn't that funny that I love snow, but that's much as scary. I remember as a kid, I used to always think, God, what if it doesn't stop? Snow was great, but then when it was snow all day, I'd be like, what if it doesn't stop? That would be scary. And I guess here it didn't. They're living my nightmare. And this is in California, just a little bit further south, where they just have ultimate flooding, and I guess all that snow is melting, and they're having rain. Oh, it's a nightmare, right? Mm-hmm. And then, but here's the worst part, because this is the worst part. If you got to do your laundry at a laundromat, your life sucks anyway. So this is not even fair to do to people. Doing your laundry in a laundromat is the worst fucking thing maybe ever. It clearly just means you're poor and that your life really sucks. And doesn't everything everywhere all at once take place in a laundromat? Don't they own a laundromat? I don't. It just looked like the saddest of all pictures. Here's San Clemente. I mean, it's the California's just full. It's actually they're doing what Lex Luthor planned in Superman 1. I think somebody detonated a bomb and it's falling off the coast. And now we'll be able to have towns like Otisburg, Lutherville, Casa de Lex, Otisburg. Well, look at that pool. It's ready to go. I kind of want to swim in that pool and see what happens. It would be fun to be in the pool when it slides down. It would be like a Little Rascals episode. Yeah, if she right a week later says if she drops that bag, it's all over. Right? Well, I finally got all the water out of this bag. Yeah, that would be me. This is upstate. I saw some deers. I left my sister. There were giant deers. I couldn't get to my car. I got nervous because I don't know what they're up to. They were just staring at me. They certainly look beautiful, but they carry a lot of diseases. My sister hates them. And, as you know, my friend Rich out in California shoots them, but he eats them. So he doesn't waste them. But they're so cute. It reminds me of Marissa Tomei and my cousin Vinny when she's talking. It's just, you go in a little brook, bam. But they do look cute here, especially in the snow. And this is in England. So that cat's British. And he goes, well, I can't believe there's so much snow today. What a pleasant surprise. Well, I guess I'll go for a little stroll. Or should I do, is Jason here today? Should I do the James Mason? The cat talks like James. Well, I understand the kind of snow you are looking for isn't the kind of snow that we have in California. It's more of a distinct snow, a distinct flavor that only a cat like myself can appreciate. Been doing that nonstop, Mike, and nobody cares. It's horrible. A week late gets it. Otisburg.
Again.
Otisburg.
That was Ed Beatty, right?
Yeah. Did you just say Otisburg? Why would I ever call a city Otisburg? Well, you must be joking. In fact, this week, Mike, on my podcast, I was going between James Mason and John Houseman, and I was getting confused. And this is a dog that won it all in this Crufts competition in London. His name is Orca, and he's cute as a button. And said, whatever breed this is, the first one to ever win. And I like that the dog gets a free bottle of champagne.
It looks like the Wolfman from the Universal movies.
Lon Chaney Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Legato Rogmanolo.
My uncle used to drive one of those.
Yeah, exactly. But he said, are you saying, Scruffy, he's getting knighted? Because that's funny. Well, I say, dear fellow. Well, there we are again. Can you believe it's still snowing? This is insane. Well, it's a bit of a sticky wicket, isn't it, then?
What was the dog's name again?
Orca.
Sir Orca.
Like the whale. This is workers harvesting tea leaves in China. Looks amazing from that. I mean, it looks like it'd probably be shitty if you're actually doing it, but they look beautiful. This is workers in China harvesting. Does anybody know what it is?
Pig's feet.
Mushrooms. I couldn't tell until I saw it listed. They harvesting mushrooms. And here we have Pakistan harvesting wheat, or wheat, as they pronounce it in Family Guy, wheat. Because I like to pronounce the H. Who-whip.
Elizabeth knew it was mushrooms.
The what?
Elizabeth
Liz
knew it
knew?
was mushrooms.
Yeah. And of course, the good news is with all this harvesting that we know that the orange crop is going to be okay. Fortunately, the cold winter did not affect the orange harvest. So these guys got it all backwards. As we know, these guys won Best Directors, Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinart. I wonder what they'll do next. I wonder if they're going to be like I wonder if they're going to turn trans, like the Walshaushi brothers are now. Can you believe they both turned? The Matrix guys?
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? They both transitioned. You'd feel a one, but then the both. Yeah, say whip. Now say cool whip. Now say cool whip. Cool whip. That's the best, right? A week late. This were at the Oscars. Okay. So that's Lady Gaga turning around, and some douchebag photographer probably deserves it and fell. And that's great. What's better than the photographer getting pictures of him falling by the other photographers? Fantastic. Because we all know those people are the worst and killed Princess Diana. So that's what they deserve. Here's the weird part about this photo. The guy in the left. Who is that?
With the hair?
Yeah. I don't know the answer.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
That's not Cardi B, is it here? Is it?
I don't think so.
Well, I don't know who that is, but this guy, I don't know how he got to the Oscars. I don't know what his story is, but you might remember him from the Brady Bunch as he played Harvey Klinger many years ago in the 60s. I made that up, but I mean, he looks exactly like him. Look at that guy. Am I wrong? Couldn't that be him grown up? Now, the question is, you ask yourself, Dave, how the fuck did you make a connection between that guy? Harvey Klinger just came to mind. Like, I mean, but this is what I do, man. This is what I do. Now, if you remember correctly, Marsha was completely into this guy. It's probably why I remember it. She's the most prettiest girl maybe ever on television, ever. and she was totally interested. He's reading The Wonderful World of Insects. He's got the pocket protector and a pair of tweezers in case he finds some interesting bugs. And Marsha's completely into him. Completely into him. So that's probably a week late. Cardi B has Cardi D's. Nice. But I just love the fact that she was into him, I guess. And I was thinking, and he just loves bugs. And the parents were like, wait, this is the guy you've been talking about that you're in love with? And nowadays, the new bug people are, they're always creepy. This is the guy from Silence of the Lambs. When he's hitting on Jodie Foster, which is even funnier when you think about that. She's, gay. Do you like cheeseburgers and an amusing house wine? People that like bugs are a little creepy. Makes sense, of course, though. Anyway, I can't pronounce his name, but that's Short Round, of course, as we all know. He did it get hot in here, right? This is him seeing Harrison Ford at the Oscars. I'll tell you, I love this moment, right? Anonymous, my freshman roommate became a scientist who studies bugs. She covered her wall in rubber bugs. That's freaky, right, Anonymous? That is freaky. Bug people are freaky. I don't know any that aren't. Well, I don't know any, thank God, because bugs I don't like them. Anyway, this is a great moment, a really wonderful moment, because look at this. I mean, was 40 years, right? 40 fucking years. 84, Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom, right?
Yep.
40 years. Look at these. Isn't this great? Look at this. Look at this. Isn't that terrific? I'm not making any comments. I love it. This makes me happy. I don't know these people. It's just something about it. It's so cool that this kid won it. Harrison Ford hasn't even won one yet. He's probably so jealous. Short Round? You're kidding, right? He doesn't even speak proper English. Dr. Jones. Short Round. You're telling me if he's in a time machine and he travels, he's like, whoa, no. No time for love, Dr. Jones. But look, there's Short Round and Kate Capshaw, who married Steven Spielberg right after. And look, there they are together. I mean, you got to love this shit. Everybody's still alive. It's great. I don't know why. That's just terrific. And what's wrong with her belly? It looks weird, right? I mean, she is just gorgeous and he's just okay. And the way he's holding it, the belly looks weird, right? Doesn't it look like the baby's already wearing like a shoe or something? Or it's a weird, or he's holding it different. Something's wrong with her belly. I don't know. She is just stunning. Even, pregnant. I mean, who cares? I'm just saying. But I hadn't seen the actual belly. She always has it covered up. I'm not jinxing it. And there's Michelle Yeoh, who is just so terrific right now. All right, now I went on record saying this isn't her greatest performance. She won a Lifetime Achievement. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once ain't that great. I don't know why it's so liked by everybody. I don't get it. I saw some friends. They're like, "Hey, we just watched it. I don't get it." I'm like, "I don't get it either." But anyway, she's such a great actress because look at her. This is one of my favorite movies, Crazy Rich Asians. She plays the mother. She looks older and serious. And look at her. Look at it. But look at her. Look how cute she is. That's acting. She looks great. I love it. She's a cutie pie. She's an amazing Bond girl too. And I like her. And I love this guy. And I love the fact that, look, he's wearing the googly eyes. Isn't that from the movie, I think, right? Didn't they have that in the movie, Mike?
I never saw it, remember?
Oh, you never saw it. But look at this guy. What is he, 90-something, right? And he's just having the time of his life. He just gets it. And it's really great. Marcy's, oh, good. You weren't crazy about it either. I don't know if it's too smart for me a week late. I get it. It just, I just, again, like with the Banshees of Inisherin, it just best picture of the year up there with The Godfather and Silence of the Lambs. That's what I'm saying. I can't see myself watching that again and being like, damn, this is good. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, the eyes were in the movie, Marcy says. Yeah. You just love this guy. I know we went all in on him last week, but look at these guys. I don't know. They're blocking a shot, a free kick in soccer, but they're all holding their balls. I mean, is that what's done usually? And I mean, aren't you going to lose if you're worried about getting hit in the balls if you're playing soccer? Am I missing something here? Why are they acting like this?
I don't know. I don't think they're trying to protect their balls per se. I think they're.
Are you sure?
I don't.
That's the face they're making. This guy is definitely lifting up. This guy is. This guy doesn't. But I mean, it's just a little weird. And this douchebag, oh my God, from the Mets, he injured himself in the World Baseball Classic that everybody hates. And yet they say it's good for baseball, but everybody's been saying it's like these guys just want to win the World Baseball Classic and they don't care about the MLB anymore. They don't care to win the World Series, just want to win the World Baseball Classic. I mean, it's or whatever it's called. It's just, and now he's injured for the whole year. This is the Mets closer, and it's a disaster. And what a tool! And he didn't injure himself by pitching; he injured himself by celebrating a win. That's why it's pathetic. Ugh. Speaking of wins, I don't know if you watched college basketball this weekend, but it was fantastic. I ended up, when I saw Peter Pan at my sister's play, I ended up watching the end of, I think, the Fairleigh Dickinson game. Oh, my God. This is Furman beating Virginia, which always goes out. Or if you know anything about college basketball, Virginia was the first top seed to lose to a 16 about 4 years ago. Then they came back, won it all, and then they came back the next year and had this happen again. It's kind of hilarious. I mean, at least they won it all, so they're not like major losers. But this Furman, then Princeton, the Ivy League, beat a 2 seed in Arizona. They were a 15 seed, and then they just beat their next opponent, so they're playing in the Sweet 16. And then Fairleigh Dickinson out of Jersey, this small school, which we used to call Fairleigh Ridiculous. So I was telling my niece, Dory and Billy, they were at the Peter Pan play. I go, we used to call them Fairleigh Ridiculous. And my sister comes over. Hey, do you know Fairleigh Dickinson? She goes, Fairleigh Ridiculous? It was funny because they didn't. We all called it that. Anyway, they beat Purdue, which was the number 1 seed. So again, it's only happened twice in, 70 years. And we were watching it, and I'm like, no, we got to watch it. We got to watch it. We can't leave. And it was really exciting. I mean, it's like, I don't know whether my niece or nephew were understanding. I was trying to explain why it was exciting, but I don't think they cared. Boy, it was something else. Meanwhile, everybody's pools that you fill out are just a disaster. This is, an electric motor car, whatever, that's in Japan that they are built for whatever reason. But, well, good for them. But that was already done in the, 67 for You Only Live Twice. You might be familiar with Little Nelly, where Sean Connery says, tell them I need Little Nelly and tell them to be accompanied by her father. I don't know what imitation that was, but it was the closest I could do. And then, of course, there's nothing funnier than Q coming out with his shorts. Now listen closely, 007, and try to bring it back intact. Oh, I love it. Look at this. Is the guy that invented it, and he flew it in the movie. That's Little Nelly. He made it, flew it, like it really works. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, look, that was actually they didn't have. I mean, they didn't have CGI back then, so this guy actually flew Little Nelly in the movie. I mean, they put it on the cover of the poster. Little Nelly. I always wondered what happened to those. It seemed like, why don't they build more of those? Those are fun. Why aren't more people flying those? It seems so easy. Like I could build one in my apartment, and then I'd be like, oh crap, how am I going to get it out? One of those gags. You're smart enough to build one of these in my living room, and then I'm like, oh fuck. That's right. How am I going to take it outside? I mean, how big is it? Yeah, it's really, see, it came in parts and they had to put it together in the movie. It came in a bunch of suitcases. But now they have electric ones anyway. So, but that one's still, that looks like fun though. I'd really like to do that. Little Nelly, not a great rapper.
Little Nelly.
This is, they're doing Swan Lake in England. It's coming here, and I'm like so sick of Swan Lake. Like I like going to the ballet. My mother wants to go to the ballet again. I usually go with my mother, as you know, on Super Bowl Sunday, because I forget it's Super Bowl Sunday, and I'm like, I can't wait. I can't go with you then, right, Liz? I got to put my video game together first. All they do is Swan Lake. I'm sick of it. I just want something else, and it's coming here to the New York City Ballet, and I'm done. I don't want to see Swan Lake again. I'm done. It's like I don't want to see the Nutcracker either. All right, is that both Tchaikovsky? I think I'm done. Speaking of spring, let's talk spring. This is in Australia. Where the weather's all crazy, over there in Australia and Japan, it's very nice. Look how beautiful that is. I wouldn't want to be in one of those, but I like that it's perfect weather. And this is in Japan with the cherry blossom season. I love cherry blossom. I heard there's some in Central Park. I didn't know. We used to go down to Washington, D.C. when I was little to see the cherry blossoms. Boy, they smell good and they are cool and they're great flowers. And I actually just went to Bath and Body Works and bought the Japanese cherry blossom soap. And I was really excited about it. And then I got into a fight with them because I didn't want to give them my email address. But then I did, and it didn't work out. He's like, oh, I think the system's down. I'm like, you gave me all this shit about giving me the email. Your system's down? Stupid Bath and Body Works. It does smell good in there. I'll tell you something. I wouldn't mind working in the Bath and Body Works if I had to. You know, that seems like a fun place to work in the sense it smells nice. But then I was thinking, a week into it, you'd probably be like, I think that smell is giving me a headache. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sisyphus. Sisyphus is the guy with the rock. Right? Oh God, I hate the Nutcracker. I really just done. You know, I mean, how many times are you going to see the Nutcracker? You got that right, Marcy. It's I had to get well. You know what happened, Marcy, is that at work for Christmas, I just opened it. They gave me soap, but being the only man or whatever in my department, they gave me men's soap, and anything that's made for men is disgusting, and it stinks. I mean, it smells awful. It smells like a cologne that manufacturers think men want to smell like, which is gross. The best cologne that a man could buy is like that smells like soap, you know, because men's cologne is gross. And why anybody wants to think a man or a woman wants to smell a guy that smells like leather or something worse, I don't know what the fuck they're doing over there. Nobody knows how to make a men's cologne. I use one from the Body Shop. I used to use this Avon product, which was amazing. It was the best cologne I ever had. It must have had pheromones in it because it was just working. Really, the ladies loved it. And they just went out of business and stopped making it. So I've been looking for one, and I finally found one at the Body Shop. And because my friend works in fragrances, my friend Katie, so she told me about it, and it's good enough, you know. It's not this beautiful Avon product, which was called Musk for Men, ironically, but it didn't smell like a disgusting man. And when they brought it back, it smelled like a man. They changed the smell. You know what I'm saying? Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Or
yeah.
Liz, why are you saying you don't get the best ballets in New York City? Where do you get them? I thought ballets are excellent in New York City. No? I mean, they have a full wing just for ballets at Lincoln Center. You know, if you've ever been to Lincoln Center, on the right side is the music, in the center is the opera, and on the left is the ballet. I mean, how did you know Katie lives in Florida? God, you're so good, Marcy. You remember everything. Yeah, it's my friend Katie who lives in Florida. Yeah, and she works for a perfume company. Was it Brute? No, that stuff sucks. That's an aftershave. It's gross. And but Yeah, Brutes grow. I mean, cologne is. I mean, what I used to use as a kid. Whatever my dad used. So I used Canoe. Old Spice. That stuff is gross. But that's just aftershave. It's not like cologne. Yeah, everybody's moms used to sell Avon, Jenny, and this girl Belkis used to sell it. And this was in the early 90s, mid 90s. It was such a great tool. Then it got so bad. I was so desperate. I bought it on eBay. But as my friend Katie said, it was corked. And then I created my own cologne called shit. What did I call it? I have a bottle of it here. Should I just get it?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, I'll be right back.
I hope it's something, just one word, and it's like angry or spicy. That's what I hope. I don't know what you guys hope. I'm trying to make a AI generated picture of Dave, but it's keep coming back as an elf, which is weird. So, hey,
I found it. It's full of dust, but as you can see, it is called Juskow by Juskow. All right, if that's not the funniest thing you've ever seen, then you don't deserve to be on this program.
Juskow
by Juskow. I can't imagine it's any. It's got to be gross now. I don't want
to. Laughing at Jenny's comment.
Yeah, pretty much. Come on, that's hilarious. I have my own bottle made. I mean, what's funnier than this? Nothing. Am I off on this? Mike said a week late says you have a quick Tampa story.
Oh, I don't. Nothing really happened. I wasn't there very long. All I did was mainly work from the condo. The on Thursday that I was there, the landscapers broke the internet, but that was it.
The landscapers in Tampa?
Yeah, they were.
Even at the hotel?
At the condo I was staying at, yeah.
I would be so angry about that. And I would go out there and start yelling at him because old man yells at cloud is not going to stand for that.
Well, I heard a loud thunk and the internet went out. And then I was like, I think that was them. And then I went outside and they quickly was like scrambled away from me. Like, what the hell?
So yeah, a week later, I think it does smell like problematic balls at this point. It's I can't throw it away though, obviously. Look, if you can see all the dust on it, that's just been in my cabinet for years. I mean, I don't know. Why does Angela say, "Can anyone see me?"
Those are her comments.
Well, we can see you.
Yes, we can see your comments.
Yeah. What made you think that we couldn't see you? Well, anyway, I guess that's it for this week. And God, it's really so nice to see everybody all the time. Now, obviously, next week we'll be back in studio, so I won't be able to see your comments as much as I do. But I got to wait so I can comment on most. And of course, Mike puts up the ones we want. I didn't mean it like that, but he puts up random ones whenever he can. And what, your toilets overflowed, Andrew? You actually can say, what a week I'm having. So congratulations on that. You win. But yeah, next week we'll be back in studio. I'll try and get some hot girls in, right? Because that's what we said we're going to do. And but no, we'll just get some guests or whatever. Love being in that studio. So that's for the next 2 weeks, at least. We'll be in studio. And Jesus sent you.
Oh, so you want to see some AI images that got made for you? I just put on the prompt and a photo of you.
Of me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's supposed to be you as a vampire, but it came out more like a mime.
So you just put in AI Dave Juskow vampire?
Well, I put in this photo, and then I put make you a vampire, and then this one just did 3 other random things. Where this is you're an anime girl, this one you're an anime dude, and this one you're a World of Warcraft character, I guess.
Oh. So. I like that vampire one. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So next week in the studio, Mike, where are you this weekend coming up?
I'll be back in the city, but I don't have any shows.
Okay. but he will, and we will tell you about them when it is so. On Billy Joel A to Z, we're starting to use. We have a song called "Until the Night," and the week after that is "Uptown Girl," one of my favorite songs, as you'll find out. I get naked for whenever I hear it. All to come on. You want to hear that on Billy Joel A to Z. Otherwise, of course, Juskow in the City this week. I have big guests, my sister, my niece. Things aren't really going well right now. Those are my guests, but that's all right. It's oh, shut up, Catalina. No, you don't. She's like, oh, I really like Until the Night. No, you don't. You don't even know it. You don't even know the song.
What songs are on there?
What?
What songs are on that one?
On what?
I mean, what song is that one? I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought it was like there's no album called Until the Night. How does it go? Yeah, I don't even know because all I have in my head is the Cyndi Lauper one, All Through the Night. So I can't even think of it because that's all I've been talking about is All Through the Night. All through the night. Da, 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 da. Oh, thank you, Angela. They'll be happy to hear that. That my Beth and Dory were great on the podcast, and the technical issues were entertaining. That's why I had the cat kept chewing through the wires, and so it kept going. But anyway, yes. So listen to Juskow in the City, and join Patreon if you can. Otherwise, Mike and I will see you next week in studio at the Comedy Cellar, where all the action is happening every day. 365 times a year. We'll see you all next week on the Comedy Cellar Nightly Show. Good night, everybody.